Ever wonder why your most brilliant strategies sometimes crash and burn? Not because they're flawed, but because people just don't act on them? What if there was a way to subtly, ethically guide human behavior towards better decisions without resorting to mandates or heavy-handed policies? In today's fast-paced business world, the challenge isn't just creating a vision. It's getting your teams, your customers, and even yourself to consistently move in the right direction. We're often left scratching our heads asking, why aren't they getting it? The answer, surprisingly, lies in understanding the subtle cues that shape our everyday choices, often without us even realizing it. Today, we're diving deep into nudge theory, a revolutionary approach that can unlock unprecedented levels of engagement, productivity, and positive change in your organization. If you've ever felt like you're pushing against a brick wall trying to implement a new initiative, this is the masterclass you've been waiting for. So, what exactly is this nudge theory that sounds almost too good to be true? At its core, nudge theory comes from the field of behavioral economics, popularized by Nobel laureate Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein. It's the idea that small, subtle interventions, or nudges, can significantly influence the decisions and behaviors of individuals, without restricting their choices or offering direct incentives. Think of it like a gentle whisper in the ear, rather than a shout. Instead of forcing people down a path, nudges subtly point them towards the most beneficial option. It's about designing the environment, the choices, and the information presented in a way that encourages a desired outcome. The beauty of it is that it works with human nature, not against it. It acknowledges that we're all, at times, a little bit irrational, a little bit prone to inertia, and often influenced by our surroundings. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how does it work in practice? Let's break down the core principles that form the bedrock of effective nudging. First, we have asterisk choice architecture. This is about consciously designing the environment where decisions are made. Imagine a company cafeteria. If you place the healthy salads and fruit at the beginning of the line, prominently displayed and easily accessible, and push the less healthy options further down or out of sight, people are far more likely to choose the healthier options. You haven't banned anything. You've just made the beneficial choice the easiest one. Another powerful principle is asterisk default options asterisk. Humans tend to stick with the path of least resistance. If you make a desired behavior the default, you'll see a massive uptake. A classic example is retirement savings. Companies that automatically enroll employees in 401k plans with an opt-out option see significantly higher participation rates than those requiring active enrollment. Most people just stick with the default. Next up, we have asterisk feedback. Providing clear, timely information about the consequences of actions can be a powerful nudge. Think about those smart thermostats that show you real-time energy consumption and how it compares to your neighbors. This instant feedback, often combined with a bit of social comparison, can nudge people towards more energy-efficient habits. Then there's social norms. We are by nature social creatures. Knowing what others are doing can heavily influence our own behavior. If you want to encourage recycling in your office, don't just put out bins. Put up a sign that says, 9 out of 10 employees in this building actively recycle their waste. Suddenly, recycling becomes the expected, normal behavior. Finally, consider salience and framing. Salience means making important information stand out. Those stark, graphical warnings on cigarette packs are a prime example. They make the health risks impossible to ignore. Framing, on the other hand, is about how you present information. Saying a product is 90% fat-free sounds much more appealing than contains 10% fat, even though it's the exact same information. These subtle shifts in presentation can significantly alter perception and choice. The real challenge for many leaders and managers is the frustration of change initiatives that fall flat. We pour resources into new training programs, roll out innovative software, or introduce critical new policies, only to find uptake is slow, compliance is low, and the desired shift in behavior just isn't happening. We might use threats, offer direct financial incentives, or resort to endless meetings, but often these approaches either breed resentment, are unsustainable, or simply don't stick. We've all been there, trying to push water uphill with a spoon. You announce a new, more efficient workflow, spend hours explaining it, and then witness people clinging to their old, less productive ways. Or you implement a wellness program only to see meager participation. The traditional approaches often fail because they don't account for the subtle psychological barriers that prevent people from adopting new behaviors, even when those behaviors are clearly in their best interest. This is precisely where nudge theory offers a breath of fresh air. Instead of pushing, you're guiding. Instead of mandating, you're facilitating. Think about that new workflow. Instead of just announcing it, what if the new software interface defaulted to the efficient path, making the old clunky way harder to access? Or for the wellness program, what if you simply rearranged the office layout so the stairs were more prominent and inviting than the elevator, and provided easy access to healthy snacks in common areas? These aren't grand, expensive overhauls. They're clever, low-cost interventions that leverage human psychology. The genius lies in its gentle persuasion. When people feel they are still making their own choices, they are far more likely to embrace the change, own it, and stick with it. It's the difference between being told what to do and feeling like you discovered the better way yourself. This approach builds autonomy and intrinsic motivation, which are far more powerful drivers of lasting change than any external reward or punishment. To truly implement nudge theory effectively, you need a structured approach. First, clearly define the desired behavior. What specific action do you want your team or customers to take? Second, understand the current behavior and its barriers. Why aren't people doing it now? Is it convenience, lack of information, social pressure, or simply inertia? This requires careful observation and listening. Third, design your nudge. Based on the principles we discussed, choice architecture, defaults, feedback, social norms, or framing, what subtle intervention can you put in place? Finally, and crucially, test and iterate. Nudging isn't a one-and-done solution. Small experiments, measuring the impact, and refining your approach are key to finding what works best in your unique context. Remember, ethical considerations are paramount. Nudges should always be transparent, preserve freedom of choice, and be designed for the benefit of the individual and the organization, not for manipulation. It's about empowering better decisions, not tricking people. Nudge theory is not a magic bullet, but it is an incredibly powerful ethical tool for any leader or manager seeking to influence behavior and drive positive change. By understanding and subtly shaping the decision-making environment, you can unlock a world where people naturally gravitate towards better choices, leading to more engaged teams, higher productivity, and ultimately, a more successful organization. It's about working smarter, not harder, by harnessing the invisible forces that shape our everyday actions. Want to dive deeper into practical ways to apply these nudges in your daily operations? Follow for regular insights.